How you going, guys? Welcome back to another movie review. It's been a while since I've done a full-length movie review. The last movie I saw prior to Gladiator 2, I believe, was Smile 2, which I didn't actually do a full-length review of. But alas, here I am. So yeah, welcome to my review of Gladiator 2. Now, Gladiator 2 is the direct sequel to Gladiator, which came out in 2000, so 24 years ago, and which won 5 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Russell Crowe. Gladiator 2 is directed by Sir Ridley Scott, who also directed the original movie from 2000. Now, this review will contain some minor spoilers, nothing too major, but basically, if you don't want any spoilers at all, then I suggest you stop watching right now. That being said, so in Gladiator 2, the main character is Lucius, played by Paul Mescal. In the movie, he resides in Numidia with his wife Arashat, who gets killed, she gets killed on the orders of General Marcus Acacius, played by Pedro Pascal, and then Lucius gets taken as a slave. He meets Macrinus, who's an arms dealer, he's an arms dealer who purchases gladiators for the arena. Macrinus purchases Lucius, and then he promises Lucius that he can actually give him the head of Acacius as long as Lucius uses his rage to actually serve Macrinus. And also in the movie, Rome is ruled by 2 tyrannical emperors named Geta and Caracalla, played by Joseph Quinn and Fred Hetchinger. Now, I will say I really enjoyed the movie. Now, I was not very excited for this movie at all. Gladiator, the original, felt like the last movie on the planet that needed a sequel. I guess no movie really needs a sequel, but yeah, I feel like the last movie on the planet that should have a sequel, especially considering that Maximus, the main character of the first movie, played by Russell Crowe, dies at the end of that movie. But I will say, I thought the movie was actually good. Very good, if I'm being honest. The battle sequences were grand and very epic, which is to be expected. You know, Sir Ridley Scott has a track record for being able to actually direct, very high-scale battle sequences. So yeah, the battle sequences were fantastic. The cinematography was gorgeous. The Colosseum of Rome was all fantastic. The performances, for the most part, were very, very good. Paul Mescal was great. A standout performance for sure was Denzel Washington as Macrinus. He was very, very good. Incredible performance by Denzel Washington. Did a very good job at playing a charismatic but also cunning, arms dealer. But yeah, charismatic, cunning, fantastic. He's a very naturally gifted actor. I also enjoyed Connie Nielsen returning as Lucilla. She also played Lucilla in the previous movie. And then, yeah, Joseph Quinn was okay. It did feel a bit underutilized at times, but I thought Joseph Quinn was good. Pedro Pascal, I thought, was good for the most part. I think he did feel a little bit miscast, but overall, I thought Pedro Pascal did a fine enough job. So moving on to the weaknesses. So yeah, the strengths, fantastic battle sequences, great cinematography, good performances. Once again, Hans Zimmer's score as well was fantastic. Weaknesses. The movie didn't quite have the same emotional weight as the previous movie. That being said, what I mean by that is, the first movie I felt a huge emotional connection to Maximus. That's not to say I didn't feel any connection at all to Lucius. I did connect with his character. I just felt that the movie did not have as much of a strong emotional impact as the first movie. Even though Lucius in the movie does suffer a personal tragedy, his wife getting killed, and then, spoiler alert, towards the end of the movie, his mum also gets killed. I just feel like the movie didn't quite have the same emotional depth as the previous movie. Another con for me personally was actually Lucilla's motivation. So we find out through flashbacks in the movie that following Maximus's death, she sent Lucius away to actually protect him because he was a sole heir to the throne. I just couldn't fully buy into her motivations of sending her, very young son away to live away from her. I just couldn't really buy into that. I know she was trying to protect him, but at the same time, he likely would have actually become a much better emperor than Commodus was, or potentially even than what Aurelius was, Marcus Aurelius. So yeah, couldn't fully buy into Lucilla's motivations in sending her own son away. But other than that, pacing for the most part I thought was pretty good. There were a couple of scenes that maybe did drag a tiny bit, but overall pacing for the most part I thought was great. Any more, and then any other cons? I feel like, again, another tiny con, Macronus's death at the end, whilst it was epic, I thought it felt a little bit rushed. That's not to say the final showdown wasn't good. No, the final showdown was very good. I just felt like Macronus's death towards the end felt a little bit too quick. Whereas in the previous movie, the final showdown between Maximus and Commodus, was longer, and it just felt a lot more, I guess, more grand. But overall, Gladiator 2 is a fantastic time at the movies. Fantastic battle sequences, arena fights, great cinematography, a great score, terrific performances, a couple of nitpicks here and there, like Lucilla's motivations. A couple of scenes did drag a tiny bit, and also Macronus's death at the end, I personally found a tiny bit underwhelming. But overall, a very good movie, a return to form for Sir Ridley Scott after the atrocious Napoleon. I saw Napoleon in cinemas last year, and this movie also had the same screenplay writer as Napoleon, David Scarpa. Did not like Napoleon very much at all, but Gladiator 2 was, in my opinion, a fantastic movie, and it's well worth watching on the big screen. I've seen it twice now. Okay, I've seen it twice. One time, twice on a very big screen. So definitely watch the movie on the biggest screen you can. Doesn't have to be IMAX necessarily, but definitely watch it on the big screen. But thank you very much for listening, guys. Take care. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. I do all kinds of videos, walks around, different suburban areas of Melbourne where I'm from, movie reviews, out of theatre reactions, concerts. So please subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot. And have a very good day. And take care. All the best. Bye.